Shalom, family. This is another video that I'm doing. The Father, in the spirits, right now, the stuff that's going on, we need to start to get our blessing. I apologize about the earlier video that I did about the cinnamon. I know my energy was pretty low. It was so hot. I didn't know my body was this hot. So I did get something cold, which kind of uplift my spirit a little bit. So I apologize about that. But this is the thing, you guys. We have so many gifts, so many blessings that's coming our way. And in order for us to do that, to receive them, we have to make room. Remember in one of the videos I talked about letting go of things so we can make room for new things, something like that. I have to, go back to that. But I know we talked about that. The other thing too is that I know there's a lot of things that I can talk about, but I want to stay in my lane because the Most High already given me a mission, and that mission is for me to get you guys to eat what he, not to get you guys to do it, but kind of bring the information out that all the clean food that he asks us to eat, those are the food that we should be eating, and not to veer towards anything else because it's for protection. And that to talk to you about the herbs, medicine on a plate, how to create medicine on a plate, eating your food, how your food can become your medicine. So my goal is to bring you back to basic, and not basic like where you shouldn't grow. I want you to be elevated, but I want to bring you back to basic, meaning bring you back to eating what the Father had told us to eat, because the Gentile has got us so far off course that we now starting to enjoy fake food, fake, things versus actual real things, right? I don't want us to get to that, and the Most High don't want you to do that, and so therefore I don't want to see you guys do stuff like that because it's not a healthy thing for you, right? So I want to talk about forgiveness. I know that people talk about forgiveness all the time, for us to forgive the Gentiles or forgive this, forgive that. That's not, I'm not talking about, you should forgive them because the Father is already taking care of them. So you don't, they not relevant enough for you to hold this grudge and for you not to want to forgive them, right? So I'm saying I agree to forgive, but I don't want that forgiveness to become like a thought of sympathy, like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for them, I forgive them, so I should love them and bring them back. No, I don't want, that's not what I'm saying, okay? That's not what I mean by forgiveness, right? And the reason I'm bringing forgiveness, because forgiveness is important. Forgiveness, we need to forgive in order for us to be able to grow, right? For us to be able to elevate, for us to get the things that we need. So we have to forgive, right? So I want to do this video about forgiveness, right? Forgiveness, the thing about forgiveness, it heals you on a cellular level, right? And when you are healed, and by forgiving someone, you forgive the person not for them, but for you, because you don't want to carry that nasty stuff, right? So forgiveness coming in terms like when you hold resentment and grudges, negative energy, negative emotion builds up, and in every cell of your body, it's like it builds up, in every cell of your body, and it's like carrying around an extra weight that you don't even want. Every time you see the person, it's like you have to use so much energy just so you can be like, it might not seem like much, but it can slow you down and make you feel drained and lethargic, right? when you become lethargic, when you become, no, when you begin to forgive, right, you slowly start to release negative emotion. You feel free. It's like healing. You feel different. I mean, I'm sure you guys have felt that, right? And as you continue, many years of accumulating negative energy, you begin to release more and feel lighter, like I said. And this is the other thing, right? Have you noticed that if you hold grudges to one person, and then every other grudges become very easy, the next thing you know, you start accumulating a lot of resentment and grudges against people for no reason. And you're like, wait, what? And then, okay, so let's think about that. If you don't forgive somebody, then how's somebody else supposed to forgive you? When you don't forgive, it's like you close your door. You close your door to blessing. So if you do something wrong and you want someone to forgive you, they won't be able to forgive you because your door is closed. Because you already got so many stuff going on. I mean, my brothers and sisters, let's get rid of all this negative energy so we can elevate more, right? Because the food and the herbs that I'm talking about, that's going to help us heal. If we're holding on to grudges and holding on to things like that, it's not going to work for us. It's not going to help us, right? Forgiveness is a basic self-love, right? When you forgive, it's an act of self-love. It is only when you learn to forgive yourself that you can really start to forgive and to love yourself unconditionally, right? So a lot of people, a lot of problem that we're having right now in our midst is that a lot of time we don't forgive ourselves. We think we have forgiven ourselves, and some people think we're not supposed to forgive. We're not supposed to forgive ourselves, right? And when you thinking you're not supposed to forgive yourself and you don't forgive yourself, guess what happens? Then you start feeling guilty about things, and you start feeling you deserve bad things because you have not forgiven yourself, right? So we have to also talk about self-forgiveness and others, right? So remember, everything starts with self-respect. When you start have self-respect, you respect the Father and you respect others. When you start to forgive yourself, you forgive others. I didn't say forgive the Father because there's nothing you need to forgive the Father about, because the Father haven't done anything to you for you to forgive, right? So self-forgiveness, and then you forgive others, right? One way to practice to start forgiving yourself is to sit down and make a list of all the ways you hurt yourself in the past and other people, right? So it's the same thing about repentance, right? So true repentance is connected to forgiveness, with self-forgiveness, right? So when you go and you repent, before you repent and ask the Father to forgive you, you have to forgive yourself. You have to be okay. You have to make a list. Be able to look at a list of the things you've done in your life, and even no matter how horrible they are. I'm not saying to go and put that list in front of people, but no matter how horrible that list is, just talk to the Father about what you have done, and look at it and read it and be like, oh, it's okay to say, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. That was a horrible thing I've done. Oh my God, why did I do that? Da, 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 da. It's okay to do that. However, then you go and you start to ask the Father for forgiveness and you repent. But if you don't want to forgive, if you don't forgive yourself, that's why you see a lot of people start eating a lot. They start to, cut themselves, and they start to feel like they need to be punished. There's a lot of stuff going on, and then sometimes we manifest it by mistreating someone who loves us because we don't think that they should love us. So when you don't forgive yourself, it brings in a lot of negative energy, a lot of demons, and you start to hate those who love you. You start to resent anything that looks like love. You start to hate things that don't even make sense. So self-forgiveness close a lot of doors to you. But no, if you don't forgive yourself, when you don't forgive yourself, it closes a lot of doors. But when you forgive yourself, it opens a lot more doors for you, right? So, and then it's, you should speak kindly to yourself. Like, for example, I forgive myself for being mean to this old lady, and I didn't realize I was being mean to her. So I forgive myself for doing that, because again, once you do something to someone, you do it to yourself first, and then you do it to them, right? So is you have to be mindful on how you communicate to people too, and the words that you say and stuff like that. Forgiveness helps you let go of the past and manifest your true desires, right? So when you forgive people, you tend to you tend to be more focused on on your future, and then when you see people, you kinder to them. And then when people do stuff, you don't take it personally anymore, because now you have forgiven. When you forgive people, when you forgive yourself and you forgive others, it's like it becomes you automatically have a barrier where no matter what people do to you, it just go over your head. It's like, whatever, that have nothing to do with me. Somebody can come and say, oh my God, you're the ugliest person I ever met. You're like, okay, thank you, and you move on, because you already know it's not about you. But when you don't forgive, guess what happened when you don't forgive? Then it becomes then you start to look like you're then you start to harbor all these things. Every time somebody says something to you, then it becomes personal. If someone is trying to help you out, it becomes personal. A quick story. I went shopping yesterday, and it was one of our sisters. She charged me $80-something for a few things that I got, and I realized there's two things that were like $33, together. So I told her to take them out because I didn't really need those things. But then after that, she was trying to charge me for two things of toilet papers, one thing of paper towel, and some essential oil, and something that was like two for $1 or something. It was health drink, whatever. But anyway, that stuff, I know that stuff does not come up to no $74 and something cents. I added all up, it came up to $44 and something cents, right? And so I told her that something's wrong. And then she said, you want me to call the manager? I said, yeah. She's like, and she was talking to the manager. I said, that does not add up to the amount that I'm being charged. She's like, okay. And then so she said, do you want me to cancel the transaction, start over? I said, yes. So here's our sister. She's sitting there. She's like, I don't know. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know, taking it apart and putting it together, how's that going to make the price any less? I can't magically make the price less. She obviously made a mistake, but she just don't know how to handle that mistake. You can tell she have a lot of stuff she's holding on to. A lot, and it's really bad, and it's heavy. You can see it in her face. It's like all over her. And I said to her, I said, I mean, it's a simple mistake. And so the lady bring the stuff up, and it came up to $44 and something cents. And I'm like, you made a mistake. No, I didn't make a mistake. She stuck on, she did not make a mistake. But clearly she made that mistake and didn't even apologize or anything, because she's just, and her arrogance, was so bad. It was just so ridiculous. But I didn't take it personal, because it wasn't about me. It was about her. She had some issues, but I wasn't going to allow her issues to try to get me to pay. What's that? Oh, to pay $30 over. Where is the $30 worth of stuff that I got that that it was not there? And she did not care. It was like, You know, I didn't do anything wrong till this day. And then that could get you fired. She could have got fired. I don't want to go to get her fired because, you know, that's not my thing. But it was just so sad and so bad. And the manager came and she fixed the stuff and she said, well, we made a mistake. She's like, no, I didn't make a mistake. You know, she still was on. She did not make a mistake. And a lot of our people are struggling with pride and arrogance for no reason. At some point, we have to be able to remove all those chains, because those are chains that keep us, and we need to get rid of them in order for us to move on, right? So when you forgive, you let go of your past, then the past can't come back and haunt you. The only thing the past can do is help you to compare, so you won't make the same mistake you made in the past, right? So your past becomes your teacher. It's okay for you to look at the past, but it's not good to dwell in the past, right? When you look at the past, you're like, oh, in the past I did this. With this situation, maybe I can tweak it a little bit, and then maybe I'll get a different outcome, right? But when you sit there, it's all about, oh, in the past that happened to me. I'm not going to do that because I know I learned my lessons from the past. No. The past is not supposed to be your guiding light to your future. What it's supposed to be it's supposed to be somewhat a guiding light, but not the guiding light, right? So you're supposed to be able to use your past for just a little bit. Let's say, for example, in the past with that lady, I would be, running my mouth, talking mess, I'm right, you wrong, I would have done that. But now, what I did was, I remember that didn't come out well. That didn't come out well automatically. And then that's not something that I consciously did. I went on my past consciously. When you forgive, your past become the way you use your past, it becomes subconsciously. You don't realize you're using it, but you use it. It automatically become like automatic filler for you, right? So now, this situation happened, and you're like, okay, what's going on? And then boom, something happened, and you're like, okay, a little bit of the past. Oh, I remember when that happened, so I'm gonna go with it this way. Or like I did, I was like, she wasn't worth me sitting there just arguing with her, so I just let it go. I'm like, okay, whatever, and just moved on, because my point was proven that she made a mistake and she didn't want to admit, right? And you have to be able to move forward. The past keep you, when you don't forgive, it holds you. That person have a hold on you, because now that person is controlling you because you have not forgiven them. You think they are so important that you have not forgiven them for what they did to you. And sometimes what they done to you have nothing to do with you. It just have to do with them. They just used you as that mirror to punish themselves, right? Because automatically they do that to you, then you decide you don't want to deal with them anymore, right? And that's not going to help them, because if they need help, they want to make sure you're there. No matter how hard it gets, just keep choosing to forgive. Keep practicing that, right? And forgiveness helps you raise your vibration. That your energy is scarce and precious, sacred and precious, which is why it is important that you expend it wisely on things that serve you the most. When you do not forgive, you are essentially holding on to negative emotion and hate and anger, and drain your energy. So you guys get it, so then your vibration is low. Right now we need to be our vibration to be higher. We need to have higher vibration, right? Because things are changing, things are shifting, and we want to be at the right how should I say, the right place, the right position, and the right frame of mind, the right strength for us to be able to shift with how things are shifting, flexible. We need to be flexible, right? So holding on to negative energy, unforgiveness, it ain't going to help you with flexibility. Tell you that much. Forgiveness help you develop your inner strength. When you forgive, it's hard to forgive, I know. It doesn't mean when you forgive, you have to forget now. Now, when you forgive, doesn't mean you have to, like the Gentiles, like you got to bring the person in and act like it never happened. Nope, I'm not saying that. I'm saying forgiving that person. And when you deal with that person, you deal with that person with a long wooded spoon, because you already know that person is messed up. That if you even let them back in or back to your space, that's their job, to destroy you, and you don't want that. So you want to forgive, but you want to make sure that when you do forgive, you keep them from afar. You see them, hey, how you doing? They say hi to you, say hi to them, you deal with them, that's it. But no need, my people, no need to go and start, because you forgive that person, the next thing you know, that person become your best friend. No, I'm not saying that at all, and I'm not recommending it. So if you let someone go, let them go. So the more you forgive, the stronger you become from within. Okay, so that means that if that's what happened to me, because I kept forgiving and forgiving people, and forgiving people. Now it becomes like second nature. Someone do something, whatever, I move on. Like what that lady did. I mean, if I was harboring grudges, I would have held grudges against her. But now I know I can't trust her. When I go to her, she's gonna overcharge me and not wanna own up to it and trying to fix it. So now I'll go to another cashier, and because I go there all the time, they tell me I have VIP. I live downtown and by the water, and this grocery store I love to go to is right there. So they have everything that I need. So I just walk down there and get it. But anyway, so they say I have VIP. But when I go there, I'm not going to sit there and go to her, not because I haven't forgiven her. It's because I don't want her to do the same mess she did to me before. Like, I know that if next time, because when somebody don't own up to their mistakes, they let you know that no matter what happened, no matter what they do, they ain't going to fix nothing. If you don't know there's a problem, how are you going to fix it? So you can't fix something that you don't know exists. So if you don't know there's a problem, you can't fix it. So she didn't think there was a problem, so she ain't going to fix it. So why would I go to her? That's the difference between, holding grudges and forgiving somebody and not forgetting what they did, so that way you don't want to go through the same mess again, because it's not worth it. Forgiveness makes you a more conscious person. A person who's completely lost in their mind, deeply unconscious, cannot forgive. An unconscious person will hold on to feelings of hate, resentment, and anger because they are essential one and with their belief, right? So just make sure that you don't confuse forgiveness with stupidity, right? When you forgive, that doesn't mean that you back to being best friend with the person again, just like I said before. And when you don't forgive, and also too, when you don't forgive a person, you also have to think every time you see that person. You have to be in your mind constantly. Every time you see these people that you have not forgive, you have to remember, oh, I didn't forgive that person, so I don't want to talk to them, right? That's crazy. Like, yeah, I haven't forgiven you, so I ain't talking to you. That's too much energy, and that's too much you're giving to people. That's how people be stealing your energy. There's no need for it. No need for it, right? No need for it. There's no need for it. You need to move on. So what you do is when you realize something is happening, and I'm not saying like as soon as the person do something to you, bloop, and you forgive them. That's not realistic because we don't work that way, right? But when someone do something to you, just get yourself into the habit of forgiving them and keep processing it until you forgive. And then that way, automatically now, it becomes allegory to you where every time someone do something to you, it becomes automatic. You start to just forgive the person because I don't know that you don't pay attention so much to that. It's just like, oh, whatever, just move on, whatever. It's not important, right? So, but you remember to like, okay, so this person, I know not to deal with them a certain way. Whatever, you put them on the do not touch pile, meaning that you don't deal with them again the same way. You deal with them with the wooden spoon pile, I guess I can say that. By forgiving, you free yourself from the karmic loop, right? So if you don't forgive, you get bad karma too. Remember, okay, this is the thing, right? When someone hurts you, do something to you, and you pray to the Father and you let the Father handle it, what they get is way harder, right? But if they do something to you, like, okay, so they kill me, so I'm gonna go and kill them, or if they kill a person in your family, or I'm gonna go kill a person in their family, or I'm gonna kill them. Remember, you acting on unforgiveness, right? So when you acted on forgiveness, then that person that you kill, all their karma, everything they ever done, now become your karma because you take their life, right? So that's why it's important not to take their life. So if you go and you do something to that person, what you're going to do to that person is not going to be as effective as the Father would. And the angel, they know exactly how to destroy that person. So you call them to handle it, right? But if you go and do it, then now your hand's dirty. Now you become just like them. And the next thing you know, karma is coming to you too because you attacked them, right? I know it's self-defense, but at certain things, if the person is automatically coming to you, if you have all your angels, right? You have your ancestors, you have your protectors, then they can't touch you. But like, for example, with that lady, when she did what she did, but because my angels were with me, my spirit was with me, they told me that it was wrong. So I told her it was wrong, and then they went and got somebody. I didn't argue with her or anything. She went and got the manager, and then we fixed it, and I moved on, right? But now if somebody came to me and want to hit me, then that's another thing. Then that means that what is going on with me? Am I not protected? That means that I've done something to leave that door open. So now that I left this door open somehow, now I have to get my hands dirty. The point is for us never to get our hands dirty unless the Father said, okay, it's time, and give us our weapon to go and fight. Okay, right now, the thing is for us to not get our hands dirty, for us to be protected. How you do that? Call on your angels, call on your ancestors, the laws and your protectors, and ask them to surround you. So whenever you step out that door, nothing will touch you. Because why? Because they with you. So that's the thing, right? Forgiveness open your third eye, your third eye chakra, which is the chakra associated with psychic abilities, intuition, and spiritual insight. Negative energy, emotions like resentment and anger act like a cloud that block your third eye chakra, right? Okay, so forgiveness help activate your third eye chakra. Wow, this is crazy. Yeah, so forgiveness opens a lot of doors, right? Forgiveness help you attract inner peace and calm. So if you forgive people and you forgive yourself, you're more at peace. But when you don't forgive people, you constantly thinking, you constantly doing this, and it's so draining, right? It's draining. When I tell you guys I'm at peace, I am so at peace. I can't even sleep with noise. Like noise is, I mean, I can sleep with them. I can sleep with, if I hear, my neighbor downstairs or my neighbor upstairs, they making noise, I can sleep through it. But what I'm saying is like, I'm not like a person that I have to have my lights on. I have to have the radio on or the TV on just for me to go to sleep, because there's a lot of people who can't sleep without a sound. And that, my friend, is scary. I do not wish that on anybody. Forgiveness help you learn from the past, right? You start to reflect, there's opportunities that could come to you that, if you forgive, you can open yourself up more, right? So please do your research more about that and to find out more. I'm just bringing this to you because it was put in my heart to do that, okay? Forgiveness helps you become more responsible, right? So learning to take full responsibility is the path to change your life and achieve what you truly desire. When you are constantly blaming others for your current state of affair, you remain stuck in the loop that not able to move forward. Forgiveness allows you to let go of blames and take responsibility of your own life and can begin to change. So, for instance, a person who believes their current state of reality is a direct result of their childhood upbringing and constantly blaming their parents for it will have a hard time changing their reality. That reality. This is because most of their energy is focused on fueling their feelings of hate over their parents. Instead, when you let go and forgive, you realize that as an adult, you have all the power within you to work yourself through, to work on yourself and change your reality to achieve true desires. It's important to remember that forgiveness is not always easy, right? It's a process that takes time and effort and patience. However, the reward of forgiveness is definitely worth it when you learn how to forgive. We open ourselves up to a world of spiritual and physical benefits. So when you forgive spiritually, a lot more spirit wants to come to you because they see that you are clean, that you're not, harboring, you're not dirty, So basically then they start to elevate you. The next thing you know, they will elevate you to become to get to a higher level so you can, work with other people. Because if you don't forgive, then if you're a person who's hardly wanting to forgive, then how are they supposed to trust you when they send people to you to help them? Because what are you going to tell them? How are you going to help them, right? Right. So, a short meditative cultivative forgiveness. Okay, so what I would do, is sit in a comfortable position. It's just meditating. Don't forget to add your elements. And then the different herbs, your favorite herbs that connects with you, and also the like essential oils. You're calling your angels, and just really just sit and just listen to the spirit and connect. That's what I can tell you about forgiveness. And just know that the Most High love you, and all your angels and your spirit guides, our ancestors and everybody, they there to help you. They love you. They want to be there for you. The laws, they all there for you. So call on them and ask them for help. Don't go and fight on your own. You don't need to. Like I said, when they are protecting you, things won't happen to you. If only the only time something happens to you is when you open that door. How do you open the door? Is when you're doing wrong. If you stay on the right path, then you don't have to worry about that, because then you know for a fact that they will, for a fact that they will do the right thing. They would help you with the right thing. But if you are doing wrong, if you are doing wrong and you calling on them and you're doing wrong and you want them to help you, my brothers and sisters, I'm going to tell you, they will not, because you have to pay. Everybody have to pay for what they've done. We all have to pay for the things that we have done. No one's go scot-free. No one don't get punished for things, because the people you hurt, they need justice. So if I'm hurting someone, just because I call on Jesus and say, Jesus help me, doesn't mean that I don't get my payback, because it's not fair to the person who I've hurt. And the same with you, whoever hurt you, just because they call on Jesus doesn't mean they're not going to get their part. There is a such thing called instant karma and delayed karma. I love instant karma because I always get instant karma. When I do something wrong, I get karma right away. But there are people out there, they've been dodging their karma, dodging the bullet. Every time they do something wrong, there was always a window or back door that they go in there. They don't have to pay for the things they've done, and they don't understand that's delayed karma. And when you get delayed karma, that karma will mess you up when you least expect it. When delayed karma come, when you sitting pretty, you at home, you chilling with your family, you having everything all together, you chilling. Next thing you know, boom, it's kind of like you driving out of nowhere, a car come and just, that's delayed karma. Instant karma is when you cut someone out or hurt somebody today, and maybe an hour later or the next day, something happened to you. That's instant karma. Then you deal with it, you move on. But that's all I have to say about please forgive. First, you got to forgive yourself. Then automatically you'll forgive others, okay? And repentance is part of forgiving, because you're asking God to forgive you. In order for him to forgive you, you have to be able to forgive somebody else, other people, right? So my prayer, I always say, Father, please forgive me and help me forgive those who have wronged me, and help those who have wronged to forgive me, okay? And eventually I get to the point where I forgive those who have wronged me. And then in turn, those who I've wronged will forgive me, because I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I do things. I say things that I'm not supposed to say. But however, other people, if they are able to forgive me, is because I'm able to forgive them. In turn, the Father forgive me. The prayers, right? Forgive us for our trespasses and those who have trespassed against us, right? So we have to forgive those who have trespassed against us, but we have to also forgive. We have to forgive those who have trespassed against us, so they can forgive our trespasses, and then the Father can forgive our trespasses. Okay? All praises to the Most High. I love you guys, the Spirit Guide and the angels and the ancestors and everybody else. They love you more, the wise. But the Most High have the ultimate love for all of us over everything. So any problem that you have, please take it to the Father and he will help you, okay? Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Thank you for listening.